Do, re, mi, fa, sol, pu, na, na, on, ra, pu, sol, fa, mi, re, do. I messed up a bit, but still. It is good to be back. It's been over. Well, it's been under a week, but a little close to a week since I last streamed. And good grieving, my last stream was at 10 a.m. in the morning. But within reason. Got something to show you after all this, but I'd like you to admire the new, well, version 1.5 of my logo. As you can see, I've got the sound only and I've got a deep violet color. Now, I had to do this all in paint, so come 2.0, I should have the ability to change up both the U logos, the background behind the U, and hopefully exclude the white background. I love it. It's absolutely nice. It's also a start in the good direction, though. There is one detail I'd like to pay attention to. If you look deeper into the center, around where the sound only is. You know, hold on, let me see if I can't change a few settings. Right here. And we'll change it back. You get a good look at the sound only. You'll notice that it's got a few grid points on it. Now, being in paint, you have the ability to enable ruler and grid. And admittingly from far apart, from a distance, it looks amazing. Now, if there was only a way to get all that grid-looking style without the gray background and everything, it would look amazing. Which is why I've made it a point to look through GIMP. Alright. With that said, let's get into what happened during the past week. Now we're gonna plug our Instagram and TikTok accounts, SUOU0717. But to the point. Last Friday, I traveled down south to a farm. And this farm, according to High Key's assignment at the time, was hosting a Spartan race. And that Spartan race consisted, well, the beginner Spartan race, of a 5-kilometer run with 20 obstacles in between. These obstacles range from climbing over 4-foot walls, 4 feet walls, 6 feet walls, hurdles where there is no wall except for the hurdle, the top of a wall technically, climbing over cargo nets, pulling items under a weighted pulley lift, pushing things through mud, lifting things, really heavy things, climbing, and crawling. I'll tell you what, my preferences especially involved climbing things and, well, running up inclines. My least favorite things are running in straight things, running in straight lines, and, well, crawling. I think my outfit played a role in that, though. My outfit consisted of a cotton shirt and training shorts, and the weather at the time was at 83 degrees, but coupled with the fact that we were in the middle of a farm, and despite the trees, you still had the sun beating down on you. There was no overcast. But in the midst of going through it for about an hour and 30 minutes, and only going through about 16 of the 20 obstacles, I came out with this. No, this is the wrong one. My bad. I came out with one of these. While it may be considered a participation prize, I enjoyed being able to get a medal finishing it through all. Of course, I have to admit something. I may have gotten the wrong medal. I think, well, based on looking through the website and looking at the other people that participated in the Spartan race, the green-colored strap for the medal is meant for the Beast category, and the Beast category is the more advanced. I'll tell you, it's more advanced because that thing goes you for 21 kilometers of running. Well, at least racing, and then the obstacles. So, I guess there may be another opportunity, and probably coming out of my own pocket at this point, because High Key was the one that provided the funds to travel to the place and the assignment. It could also be a good chance to see how better to gauge my abilities at this point. I mean, aside from the theater performances and doing the exercising before this race, if I can do another race and prove myself a little bit better, maybe High Key would be a little bit more lenient as to what they have planned for me within the next few months. I like it though. Next race, I'll definitely put my effort, and maybe maintain the time that I currently have and use every ounce of my body weight and my body strength that I build throughout the next few months to do all 20 of these obstacles that they've got so far. I mean, the obstacles will vary based on where the location is. I think the next one's going to be an urban area, probably coupled with some dirt and other instances. We'll probably deal with some of the same obstacles. Very happy about that, though. Oh, and speaking of happy, let's change that frown. Let's change it to a frown. Meet my channel, and allow me to go down to a specific stream that still suffers from being in processing limbo at this time. I give you the first stream that I did. It is now the 19th of March. My stream was done on 20th of February. 1, 2, 3. It's been nearly 4 weeks. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible that I have to deal with this slog. Now then again, everything's a critic. Everybody's a critic. I have no idea when on earth my third stream is going to... this 3-hour stream is going to process. But that will not deter me as to what I am planning to do for Saturday. No, I'm already making Saturdays my Stardew Valley streams. I want to risk... Oh, nuts. I can't even do a Saturday stream. One of my theater performances is going to be planned there. They're going under a 12-hour endurance cave of whatnot, just to make sure that we have our dance techniques down in preparation for a performance within the next few weeks. So what I thought was going to be a stream on Saturday looks like it might be pushed back to Friday. Alright. But this thing has been on here for almost 4 weeks. It's disgraceful. But I want to take the risk to see if I can't do a 4-hour stream. See if I can't get things right. How are we doing so far? 17 minutes? Not too bad. Well, in the midst of everything posting, I managed to get a further look into some of the other games inside the library so far. I had an interest in a card game that I found. Well, it's a series of card games, and hopefully I have enough time within the hour to play it. At least get a... I'd like to get to maybe around 1 chapter or 2, but we'll find out sooner or later. But moments, if you'll excuse it a little bit. And I'll go back to the hot screen as soon as we get to that. Oh, wait. Hold on. There's actually some other items that I would like to get to. I just realized. In the midst of everything, I was able to get pictures of places that I went to. And the cabin that we went to was in the middle of the... Well, it was in the middle of rural nowhere. And I was able to find out from one of the cameras that I brought, and after looking through a number of settings, astrophotography. Well, this was the first night out of 2. So, in terms of settings, the settings for this, the focal point is a 2.0, a shutter speed of 30 seconds, and an ISO of 800. Unfortunately, understanding that it is a shutter speed of 200, a shutter speed of 30 seconds, you have to hold the thing like perfectly still, or at least put it on a stand where you know that it will hold itself. This is me trying to prop myself onto, I guess, the pole of the cabin, and then having it angle upwards to check the trees. And as you can tell, these are the stars, these are probably the stars, and then there's the tree, and this is probably the cabin on the right-hand side. But the next day after the Spartan run, well, this is the thing that I did before the Spartan run. And this is the one where I still had some of the lights coming out of the cabin. You get one of these. Sure, it takes some time, and while the whole photo looks grainy, it just looks amazing. The way that you're able to get the stars, especially when there's not a lot of light coming in from the cities. And of course, turning off the lights at the bottom part of the cabin. And also putting blinds over the shades. Well, putting curtains over the blinds, because even if the curtains can carry light. It's amazing what you're able to take, and just the amount of stars you can grab. And despite every shot is an uncompressed photo, and it takes up 30 megabytes of storage. And you can convert it to a JPEG to make it a lot easier to post, depending on certain platforms. For one instance, YouTube doesn't like anything above 16 megabytes, so here come the converted ones whenever I try posting it on there. I like this one especially. Over here, you've got the Dipper, and then you've got the clouds, and then you've got the trees over here, assuming that it's like a river of sorts. In the at one moment, you could see that it's the water being dumped on there, or maybe even the water going downwards. And maybe if we even rotated it, it'd look like the water's going into it. It's a nice feel. Another angle. Just wanted to see if I can get that. I think this one works better than the next one that I did. Lights in this one were coming in from up top, but it didn't really interfere too much with the stars at this point. And if I had at least brought an astronomer's chart or an astrology chart, I would have detailed what some of the bigger stars were. This was around 1 a.m. in the morning. I got stupidly tired. I was sweating at this point, but managed to get a few photos after anchoring the camera stand that I had bought onto the place. Looks amazing though. This one was nice too. It's a bit grainy, but I do like it. It's as if it was taken during the evening. And lastly, we've got this one, I think. Oh no, it still keeps going. Lovely pictures. Now imagine if I was able to do this outside of the cabin area into a giant field, but you get some really interesting critters at night. Snakes, cows, spiders. It's always good not to mess around with Mother Nature, that's for sure. More pictures. A little bit more adjustments. Oh, I remember this one. So my camera stand, there is a gimbal. I think it's a gimbaled stand. Well, The legs itself, you can adjust to maybe anchor it. No, definitely. You can use it to anchor on certain surfaces. You can have it reach around and cause it to move. And the camera, where it's attached, it is a ball. So I guess you could call it a gimbaled. Yeah, gimbaled's the term for it. It is a gimbaled posture thing. I mean, you can unscrew it and then you can move it around in a, well, however balls work. Almost lost my phone twice because of how loose it was. It's a very beautiful night though. I wish I had enough energy and if I weren't so tired out from the race. Thank goodness for my cardio though, I was able to get all these pictures. I might have taken more pictures, maybe including less of the trees around this area. And that was the night after the Spartan race. Now the other set of pictures that I have involved a museum that I saw along the way. It was an auto museum next to a giant gas station. Apparently they have nice bathrooms. Had a ton of cars, a lot of vintage cars, a lot of refurbished cars. This one was a nice one. It's about the Mystery Machine. There's another picture of this one come in future. The people that were with me... Shoot, this thing is staring at my soul. The people that were with me, car fanatics. They love the place. We'd stay there for over an hour. We're close to 2 hours. There was a boat in the area, but most of the emphasis was on vintage cars and some modern ones. I like this one especially. Had a nice gloss, especially with the wood that it was using and the treatment that was done. A nice little slice away from all the cars that were shown in there. It kind of reminds me of the time when I was over in California. Aside from doing one-on-ones with everyone else in the squad that I was a part of, they were called the Mailmen. That's right. Over in the shores of Bark-Tor, a secret hideaway from one of my squad members, younger days, there was a boat. I mean, the thing was a bit rusty and dusted, but it ran well, and I believe one of my members was a mechanic. I can't remember if it was a he or she. I remember she worked boats as much as she loved working a rifle. Was a good marksman. And it's fun what kind of names you can come up whenever you custom make maybe a motor that goes really fast, whether it's on land or on the sea or even in the air. And I was always keen on getting descriptions whenever they were available too. This one's of a movie, but Back to the Future. Might end up watching that. There are 3 parts to it, but I never had the chance to watch, I think, the entirety of parts 2 and 3. I only got to part 1. Some good ones, though. Custom built, and nice use of the wax figures and understanding, well, at least based on what props were used during the movie. The DeLorean and all that. Wide review of the DeLorean. Of course, you're not limited to the size of the car, it's a matter of how it looks as well. Nice bit, Texas. I've always loved ice cream, though. It was a nice little touch when looking at how ice cream trucks were done in the past. More descriptions on this one. I like this one especially, this car, because of, well, darn it, I don't think I think I failed to take the color on this one, but the Camaro itself, the Fathom Green, if I can look at it, at least through the edges, it was a nice, I guess initially I thought it was a forest green. forest green tends to be on the darker side of the green, closer to... I guess it'd be closer to a black. But every car's color is a nice delve into color study. It's really nice to do, especially if you're trying to apply to something else. I mean, heavens, I'm not an artist, but I at least know what to do with the colors. This one was a nice lineup too. I don't recall what kind of... I think these are Corvettes. Yeah, these are Corvettes and they're lined up based on the year. A nice sky blue, a silver, red, but more on the, it's not candy red. That's yellow. That's yellow, close to yellow, more to a bright. This one's more paler orange, close to yellow, closer to maybe to red. That's a pale yellow, closer to a white. Another silver one, a blue one, and a black one. And then there's motorcycles on the end because it's an auto museum. Lovely touch. And of course, something a little bit more contrasting. Had I positioned the camera a little bit closer to here, I would have gotten a better look at it. But, study and photo. And over here is the Lego exhibit that I'll get into a lot later. More descriptions. Admiral blue with a white top interior. And this is the car that it belongs to. Admiral blue with a white top. This Admiral blue is I guess the balance of blue would be... I guess it'd be a 3:2 ratio whenever it comes to a white. Not that it's... maybe a little bit more blue. But it's a nice deep blue. I love the stripes that it complements with. Another picture of it. We go a little bit older. A Sportsman convertible. This one, I think this car was in one of those spy flick films. Something from James Bond. It was Hollywooden, wood panels. It's very much a prestige car. It was nice, albeit imagine trying to ride the car, especially with the in hot weather. I wish I took more pictures of this thing. Maybe I do have pictures, but I probably didn't add them towards my picture lineup. And of course, there are other cars. It's kind of reminiscent of a taco truck, at least before we decided to focus on the fact that maybe we could have fast food on wheels. But it wouldn't hurt to have produce, something for a change of pace. More taco truck / fruit truck. Oh no, this one. I would think that this was a car specifically designed for racing, maybe around the Great Depression time, like around the former half of the 1900s, maybe closer to the 1915, 20. I have no idea at this point. Maybe 1903. I was never keen for cars at this point, but I love the designs. It's career creative. Rolls-Royce. Let's see. I've been told at times that the top part, this ornament right here, is often stolen. It's like some sort of prestige item and have it on yourself and then probably to resell it for some gaudy amount. Or just some sort of devious thing to filch off of another person's gains. Story about that. Reminded by that story from the time. Lovely thing though. Rolls-Royce. It's a nice color too. Now, back in the earlier days, we really got creative with the car creation bits. I guess we went for sleek designs and cheaper labor at this point. I have no idea whatever happened to cars. And of course a blur on this one. Excuse the bit at the bottom. This is the only time you would see the word midget on a car. And apparently a little person is a derogatory term in these days. More description. And it's the same color as that Corvette that I saw back at that lineup of cars. Probably getting it incorrect at the time. A good look at the mystery machine in the back, and the fire engine that we circled around to. To wonder how technology has changed over time, especially. I mean, a fire engine with no cover and fighting the fire from a distance because of how hot the thing is. I mean, back in the day, there was only so much we can think about whenever it came to fighting fires that we didn't really think about equipment at the time. Well, probably some leaps and bounds with equipment especially. Oxygen, important, tanks, especially the training that's involved with becoming a firefighter. I wouldn't be too surprised if it's similar to how the military would work, but on a harsher scale. I guess it also applies to the Spartan race that I did too. More pictures of this one. Surprisingly, electric cars have been a thing ever since the 20th century. Though it's a nascent steps into being what it is right now. It's a far cry from what it was then. Fortune, they failed that, but they see demand mounts for wheelbarrows. Companies started making horseless electric carriages. And in 1904, gasoline-powered vehicles. Despite this being a recreation of their electric Studebaker, it's still a lesson in how things change, evolve, and grow over time. Now this one, I love the color in this one. It's unlike the Admiral Blue in the way that it reflects. It is nice. I guess it'd be close to a, well, if we look at it carefully, the blue is closer to a purple. That's a Cobra. And now we get into the exhibit that I talked about. A lot of Legos. I mean, I heard from the receptionist that the person that owns the auto museum as a whole decided to get some Lego master builders to do a little Lego exhibit that, of course, included cars. There was a car display, but I didn't take pictures of that. But they also included displays on this level as well. This one's a nice little bit. I wish I had gotten a little bit more of the mountain of this one. I think this one's called Rivendell. Yeah, it's Rivendell from Lord of the Rings. And if you look at it carefully, if you're there, there's a nice little Easter egg of something involving the Force. That's the best way to describe it without spoiling it too much. Not much in the detail of this one. I immediately assumed that this was based off of another one, but they're all elves. And the bottom right over here, and based on whatever I remember, I think this is where they did the Fellowship, the creation of the Fellowship at the time. Ah, here we go. Here we have the Council, and we've got, I believe, the Hobbits. There are two Hobbits over here. There's the Wizard Gandalf. This is Frodo and Samwise. Then you've got Merry and Pippin right on this area right here. And you've got the Fellowship. I believe this would have been Legolas, Gimli, Aragorn. I don't know your name. Is it Thorinir or Boromir? Either way, you unfortunately suffer a hero's death trying to save these two. I think this one especially had a rather bleeding heart about it as well. I don't remember you. I wish I remembered you a little bit better. Well, at least I do remember you. I think you're Elrond. Ah, here we go. Here's the thing that I was talking about right over here. As I mentioned, the Force. It's a bit anachronistic if you're putting it in one word. That's the description. More Lego display sets. This one, I think this one was broken. But it's a chess piece. You've got your pawns up in front, your castle or rooks, your knights, bishops, the queen, and the king. Now, to tell the difference between the queen and the king, aside from the appearance, is that the queen's a fashionista. She always ends up on her respective square. And she's a lot more powerful, and based on points, she's a 9. Because she has the ability to go on white and black spaces and has the power of the queen, has the power of the pawn, not the pawn, the knight and the rook. A coliseum. Aptly next to a castle. I don't think I ever have the picture of the castle. And you've got a diorama of something from Star Wars. I believe it's The Empire Strikes Back. You have the ion cannon over here. You've got the Millennium Falcon and the X-Wing, the Incom T-65 X-Wing, and of course you've got an illegally modified YT-13 transport, the Millennium Falcon. And you've got everybody sorting out because the Imperials on this side have already started their invasion of the Hoth system. More blurrier approach. I hate that it blurred up the thing, but the detail, especially when covering the tops of this thing, the nice tilt of the snow. And of course you got this city right here. This was a city further down, looking at carrying various items, ranging from various, well, themes. You got these guys right over here in yellow, appropriately named the Simpsons. This was a nice attempt in trying to get perspective. You have the car right here, and I wish it had a little bit more... Okay, I wish it was less blurry. And then maybe it blurs a little bit further down. Would have liked to tap the focus button on this part right here. You've got the Jonkler and the Batman. And you've got, I think, Harley Quinn over here. I have no idea on that person, but this area in particular, there's a lot going on. And I think that whip right here is Catwoman. You got an alien ship crash landing, you got police officers, and I think that's probably the Batmobile. A skate park. I think this one's a wizard, probably Gandalf doing some nice licks. There's Hans Mole Man. And this is a nice far cry. I think this is the Notre Dame Cathedral over in France. It's a far cry reminder of that theater play that I was asked to do community choir for. It was quite nice. And above you see that there's a number of the displays, well, the boxes that a majority of these came from. They're not all there, but it's quite cool that they came up with design. I mean, the parachutes are Lego too. And there's a wider view of the city, aside from the Star Wars bit over there. More city, more city. A lot more of what's on display at this point. A nice bit of Big Ben. And we go back into cars. Turns out there was another section deeper into the museum. A lot of smaller cars and another midget car. Oh, but this one. I love the color in this one. It's not as blue-violet as the last one and not as lighter on that sense, but it's a nice sheen. The way that the light reflects off of it. If I were to put it under a color study, this would be a royal blue. I think this would be close to a royal blue, but the reflections in the metallic paint probably put it to a brighter color. Apologies, I'm not a woman. I don't exactly have the ability to discern color too well. They call me colorblind. I do like this color though. And the leather behind it, the plaid. It's a nice interior going on for it as well. And here's me zooming in on the color to give it a better look. Had I put myself a little bit away from the lighting, it would have looked a little bit better. Yeah. This one's a nice green. I love the green behind this one. I'd say it's closer to a forest green, but it's more on the lighter side. Because forest green tends to be a little bit more pasty, and then we're dealing with a metal. It's unfortunate. I think it's a Kaiser dragon. I love the hood ornament though. It's a nice little bird, I think. Or at least a dragon. Another lovely color. This one I think is closer to electric blue. It's a nice muscle car too. I mean, look at the interior on that thing. It's not as complicated as you would see in a modern car. It really had the space to cover all that stuff. Just imagine the fans in the center just expanding and just really cooling on the car, and the engine at the bottom, the pistons and all that. And of course you go back in time. Man, my goodness, we were still studying how cars worked and how engines worked as well. And compared to the future, probably about 30 or 40 years into the future, we got this. Another study into color. You would think that this is a sort of pink. You'd be wrong. It's close to a salmon color, which I initially thought, but then I come across this one. It is a coral and shadow gray poly. But if you look at it carefully, and if you compare coral and salmon, you'll find that coral carries a more brighter sense compared to salmon. Salmon's a lot more darker. And then you've got the full car right there. Lovely hood ornament though. It's really... looks like a taxi back in the day. This one's a nice color too. It's on a brighter color of a green. Apparently, green and blue seem to be my favorite colors, but they're about second or third best. That's the best way to describe it. Lovely grille though, the way that the Oldsmobile is like. It's absolutely enjoyable. And then there's this. Now I'd seen this car, and I initially thought that it was probably... I would think that it was a car made out of different parts, because after a brief look as to, well, what the frame looked like and what the inside was, I think this was an experimental car. I mean, the opening up of the car doors as wings, the way the hood opens up from the back to the front, instead of the front to the back. Wholly experimental. This one's a nice green. I like this one. If I were a car person, I would know exactly how this thing looks like, but I love the interior on this one. It's very compact. This Mustang. Unfortunately, I'd own a tuner car. I'd love the idea of modifying things. I have to thank Joseph for that. Rest his soul. Mach 1. Same idea. Oh, but this one. This car right here. I love the color in this one. It's close to a deep violet. Forgive me if I don't get the correct terminology of color after just spieling on color study. It's a beautiful color despite all the scratches that go onto it. If I were ever to get a car, I would love this sort of thing. The way the color is. It's absolutely nice. I'd make it more sleek though. I enjoy a good tune-up, especially for a car like this. And this would be the last picture that I took of the Mystery Machine. A better view compared to the one that I had from that firefighter bit. Absolutely nice. Alright. I may have only a little bit of time left. Maybe 40 minutes will do to go through about 2 chapters of this game. Excuse me for a bit. I'll get things set up. Alright, this should be good for now, and hopefully the audio is coming through pretty well. I may have to position myself... No, I have no idea on where to position myself because I haven't played this game at all. But, new game and all. And unfortunately, after looking through the options a little bit further, turns out A is cancel and B is the go-ahead. Might need to get a new controller where B is good and A is bad. No, where A is bad and B is good. But regardless, let us begin. Oh, sorry.
こんにちは。いや、こんばんはですかね。私は本作のゲームマスターです。以後、お見知りおきを。さて、では本題。私の仕事はおしゃべりとカードであなたをこの世界に誘うことです。なので、私の声が聞きやすいよう音を出してプレイしてもらえるとより楽しめるかなと思います。というか、音出しプレイが絶対おすすめなんですが、今のように字幕も表示されるので、音を出せない方は文字でお楽しみください。
Would you like to display the subtitles? Remember, you can always change these settings later. An option. No, I'll accept this. Thank you. Subtitles will display. And just like that, B is next and A is backwards. And remember, you can always change these settings later in options.
そろそろ準備はいいですか？
はい、準備。
では、始めましょう。
はい。
ボイスオブカードの世界へようこそ。君は今からある物語の主人公として冒険へ旅立つことになる。剣と魔法の世界で人間にあだなす魔物を倒しながら 大いなる目的を果たすべく旅をするのだ。君がこの世界で活躍することを心の底から期待せずにはいられない。
And who might you be?
私は君の冒険を眺めることしかできない傍観者だ。ではそろそろ冒険に出発してもらうとしよう。旅の無事を祈っている。
Thank you. Alright, let's begin. The Dragon in the Isle of Bliss.
その場所は洞窟だった。濡れた岩肌に囲まれ、いかにも化け物が出てきそうだ。どうやら洞窟には3人の冒険者がいるらしい。一人は裏若き乙女。いかにも育ちが良さそうな顔つきをしている。
Yes, you can definitely tell that.
二人目はいかつい戦士。周囲に危険がないか神経を張り巡らせているようだ。
Good grieving, those muscles are just being barely contained by that cufflink of his.
三人目は老人。賢者のような風体で先の暗がりを凝視している。
Yes, the old man, sagely air and gazes in the darkness to chant before him. Carries a really condescending look if you ask me.
冒険者たちはこの洞窟に眠るという宝を捜索しているようだ。
Indeed. Move further into the cave. Your piece is in the middle of the screen. Use the left stick to move in the direction you want. Let's move back.
冒険の目的である宝を入手しなければ町には戻れない。
It's a nice touch. Of course, I can move around. Let's go to the door.
目の前に鉄製の扉がある。扉にはこれ見よがしに取っ手がついている。
And of course, that's the decision. Now, in terms of... I guess in terms of common knowledge, whenever you want to open a door, you usually pull it towards you. Let's do the opposite. I guess we have to hold the button to raise it ever so slightly. The stoic
い
man.
かつい男が渾身の力で取っ手を押してみたが、扉はびくともしなかった。
Aww.
いかつい男は力任せに扉を蹴り飛ばした。
Well,
すると扉はすっと横方向に開いた。どうやら引き戸だったようだ。
one of the sliding contraptions. Oh man. Reminds me of another video that I remembered. So there was a running gag involving a guy trying to enter into a meeting, and the doors were different every single time. One moment it would be a push door, the other moment it would be a pull door, a third time it would be a sliding door. Oh, and by the way, you should have the ability to go diagonal, I think. Probably not that game.
暗がりの中から急に何者かが飛びかかってきた。
Our first battle. The fight is on. Take down all the enemies and victory shall be yours. No, I don't need to heal. Let's focus our attacks and shut down so we don't have two attack hits. The number in red indicates HP. When a card's HP drops to 0, it becomes incapacitated. A card's attack is indicated in its lower left and defense in its lower right. Give careful consideration to your and your opponent's values before acting. To your and your opponent's values before acting. Interesting. Right then. Deal wind damage to all enemies. Let's try this. And this area effective has effectively killed off one and weakened the other one. It is now time to end this battle. Alright, let's kill it. Ooh. Critical. Bit overkill, though. Not bad, though. And a no damage, too. Quite nice.
この冒険者たちは歴戦の強者らしく、襲いかかる魔物たちを難なく退ける。
I'll do a little bit more exploring while we're at it. Get better chance of revealing the area around us. Ooh, a chest.
3人の冒険者が宝箱に近寄ると、地鳴りのようなおぞましいうめき声が洞窟内に響き渡った。そのうめき声は渡すものかと言っているようにも聞こえた。
You know, the next time I play this, I might mute this. I really want to check out my voice skills.
直後、周囲を警戒する3人の冒険者たちの前に、得体の知れない何かが出現した。
Boss time. What have we got so far? We have a slime, and possibly a skeleton captain. I'd like to think that this white light would allow us to deal with this undead person. Oh well. Let's focus on taking out that skeleton's cohorts. And for every turn we have, we can gain 1 gem, but there's a chance to gaining more gems while we're at it. Let's see if we can't get rid of... Hopefully this thing doesn't take too much damage. Oh, perfect. Could have taken out the captain, but maybe the defense wouldn't be necessary at this point. Now it's the enemy's turn to kill us. Oh, underhanded. And you heal, too. Dang. Let's focus our efforts against this skeleton captain. And a critical hit, despite it hitting only 6.
いい感じ。
Indeed, nice work. Let's focus on gathering gems. It's rather easy to deal with since we have an area of an effect. Though it would have been nice to have... it would have been nice to at least get a critical. A critical that would have been nice to get on that skeleton captain.
運を味方につけましたね。
And you keep on going towards the poor healing mage. Eh, no matter. Eat lightning. No wait, not lightning. Oh yeah! It's a wonder why I forgot to check that light heals the undead. And we must be very experienced to have no level ups happen with that amount of experience we grabbed.
若い女は魔物のムクロを避けるようにして前へ進み、宝箱の前に立つ。この中に宝が入っているに違いないが、鍵がかけられている。
Well, there's got to be some way of opening it. All right, let's You know what? I choose the torch.
若い女は宝箱に関係なさそうな道具を取り出す。しかしもちろん鍵は開かなかった。
Okay, let's try the salve.
若い女は宝箱に対して薬を使おうとした。しかしそれが無意味であることは自明だった。
Alright. You're no fun. Fine, I'll get the lock.
若い女が簡素な鍵を穴に差し込んで回すと、宝箱からガチャリと音がした。
It's a nice thing, using sound effects to cause things to open, or ineffective sound effects.
宝箱の中には何の変哲もない薬瓶のようなものが入っていた。
Well, that does not look like an ordinary bottle, that's for sure.
ようやく取り戻せましたな、王家の宝を。老人がそう言うと、若い女といかつい男もうなずく。
Royal treasure, huh?
目的を果たした3人は意気揚々と洞窟を後にした。
Dang it, we didn't even bother exploring the rest of the cave, but even then, had we seen the thing... In typical fashion of a JRPG. It is all based off dragons. The dragon returned. And now the queen gathers adventurers to slay the dragon. Our first chapter.
「ここは始まりの城。この王国を治める女王バニラが住まう場所だ。
Now here's an interesting thing. If you listen very carefully to this voice actor, Queen Nilla is actually Vanilla or Banira. It's unfortunate how things change up whenever they go through a different language.
謁見の間は大勢の騎士、冒険者、賞金稼ぎたちでごった返していた。玉座の近くには白い服の冒険者たちの姿も見える。衛兵は群衆に告げた。静粛に女王陛下のおなりである。冒険者でざわつく広間は女王バニラの登場により一瞬で静まり返る。玉座についた女王は群衆に向けて静かに口を開く。
Yeah, well, we don't even know that. It's unfortunate. There's a giant emblem in front of her. Maybe a voice amplifier?
皆の者、我が出したドラゴン討伐の触れに応じよくぞ集結してくれた。現世に復活した悪しきドラゴンを探し出し必ずや打ち倒してほしい。見事討伐を果たした者には永遠の栄誉と莫大な賞金を与えよ
う。Money. Title.
詰めかけた群衆は女王に応えるかのように城を揺るがすほどの時を挙げた。白い服の冒険者たちは自信ありげにドラゴン討伐は我々にお任せをと嘘吹く。 先頃は王家の宝の奪還ご苦労だったと女王は謝意を述べる。
I just realized that I'm covering the cards. For good reason, though. Let's see what happens.
あれを飲まないと胃の調子が悪くてな。王家の宝とは女王の常備薬だったようだ。それはさておき、ドラゴン討伐に白の教団が志願してくれるとはなんと心強いことか。
Oh, so that's what we are. We're the Ivory Order.
この3人は民衆から絶大な支持を集める慈善団体、白の教団の一員だ。いかにも立派な人格者らしき白の教団の3人組こそこの物語の主人公。
Oh, that's a nice slip.
ではない。
Oh, that sucks.
ドラゴンを倒せば賞金がっぽり。男は何を妄想したのか口からよだれが垂れた。
I like the cut of his jib, though. A nice dark sword.
よだれ男の傍らに立っていた魔物のような謎の生物はキューと鳴いた。ここで大切なお知らせがあります。この男が物語の主人公、つまり君の分身である。
This hero of our tale is us.
君
Well,
は
me in this case.
お金が大好きなしがない賞金稼ぎなのだ。しかも自分こそ勇者だと自称してはばからない面倒くさい感じの男である。ドラゴン討伐の志願者募集と聞き、金の匂いにつられて城にやってきたのだ。
Typical.
では正式にドラゴン討伐に志願する者はこちらへ来て署名を。君はなぜ署名と疑問を持ちつつも衛兵のもとへ向かうことにした。
Okay. Stand before the guard
進みましょう。
and sign your name. As you continue on your journey, your objective will change. Press the Y button whenever you need a reminder of what to do next. You will see cards with glowing edges on your adventure. Step on one to trigger an event that will move the story along. Let's see who else is here.
我ら白の教団こそが世界に平和をもたらすのだと白ずくめの男はやる気をみなぎらせている。隣の同僚に連れてこられたけどドラゴン討伐なんて聞いていないとブルブル震えている。
What about you?
男は君が連れている生物を見て魔物だと怯えている。ドラゴンってやっぱり強いんだろうなと言った男の足は小刻みに震えている。
Man, you're just as worse as the other one. What about you?
ドラゴンを倒して賞金を得るのはこの俺様だと男は息巻いている。
Oops. What have you got to say?
白の教団の勇者様一行がドラゴン退治に赴くなら安心だと男は安堵の表情を浮かべている。
Yeah, rather fitting, being an Ivory Order supporter. Yeah, your outfit screams villager. Just like those boys over there on the bottom in the bottom left. What about you?
ドラゴンを倒すなら強い武器防具が必要だと男は教えてくれた。
What about you?
男は人々の話に耳を傾ければおのずと進むべき道はわかるだろうとそれらしいことを言った。白の教団の3人組が立っている。近寄りがたい雰囲気を醸し出しているが
let's see this.
君が彼らに尋ねると、我々は白の教団、世のため人のために尽力するのが教義である。我が教団の主な活動は、さまざまな薬を生産して世界中の人々を。3人組は聞いてもないことを語り始めた。君は話が長そうだなと察知し、足早にその場を立ち去ることにした。
So in spite of the long-winded information,
署名するなら向かって左側に立っている衛兵にとのことだ。女王バニラに話しかけようとすると、衛兵から厳しく制されてしまった。やはり1回の賞金稼ぎが安易に話せるほど、女王というのは身近な存在ではないようだ。
Alright, let's go in front of this character right here.
では、ここに署名を。衛兵は紙とペンを君に差し出す。
You know, it's a wonder in itself to realize that he was able to talk to us from far away. But while the default name of this character is Ash, I don't think it would hurt to put my actual name on this thing. Yes, that's right.
君は自分の名前を紙に書き込んだ。いい名前です。続けて衛兵はそっちの魔物もと君の横に立つ謎の生物を指さした。
The monster supposed to put on whatever signature it has?
メルブール。君は謎の生物の名前も書き込んだ。
メルブール。Melbo? Interesting.
この生物の名前はメルブール。君の相棒として共に旅をしている。
Apparently the localization has this friend, the beast, as Mar. Though it sounds like it's something you would name a she.
人間の言葉は話せないが、こちらの話す内容はそこそこ理解しているようだ。
I guess it's a he.
署名ご苦労。これでお前たちの墓を作れる。
Oh. Would it be a downer?
死んでからでは墓石に刻む名前を聞けないからな。衛兵はなぜかわははと笑っている。賞金は欲しい。でも死にたくはない。君は共に戦ってくれる仲間を探すことにした。
Speak with the others gathered in the hall to form a fellowship for the journey ahead. Let's go to these guys first.
白の教団の3人組を仲間に誘ってみるか。我々は少数精鋭でドラゴンに挑む所存。これ以上の仲間は不要である。
That's understood.
ましてや、どこの馬の骨ともわからぬ輩を。そう言い残し、3人組は城から出て行った。
Oh, it's nice that I blocked your face, old man. Well, let's see what else is here.
ドラゴン退治は白の教団の皆さんにお任せして、自分は家に帰ると言っている。
Well, given the fact that everyone's going to be heading home, given that they're all generic people.
君が俺たちと共にと話しかける前に、申し訳ないと断られてしまった。
Thanks. I'm sorry, but we can't go.
男は、そんな魔物みたいな生き物を連れているやつと冒険はできないと拒絶した。
Oh, of course you wouldn't. You're scared of my companion.
君が男を仲間に誘うと、賞金の分け前が減るではないかと怒られた。君は、それはこっちのセリフだと思い、この男を誘うのをやめた。
It's an interesting way of saying that. Localization in this one says, You weren't planning on sharing either. But the original translation says that was your line, also. Alright, well, let's see if these guys last on the bottom left.
ドラゴンを倒すなら強い武器防具がと言いながら男は立ち去った。
Well, so much for that.
男は人々の話に耳を傾ければ進むべき道はと独り言を言いながらどこかへ去っていった。
Well, let's see about these last two. Maybe they're less generic.
では行こう。世界平和のために。やる気に満ちた男はもう一人の女の手を引いた。手を引かれた方の女は明らかに嫌そうな顔をしている。
There's only so much we can see.
そのまま二人は謁見の間から去っていった。
Well, I guess it's just the two of us.
私はこの城を守る衛兵。ここからは一歩も動かんと言っている。
I'm guessing you also have the same thing too, huh?
私はこの城を守る衛兵。ドラゴン退治は冒険者諸君に任せたと言っている。
It's unfortunate.
まだ仲間を探せていない。このままでは心もとないが、君の考えを尊重しよう。
There's only so much we can do here.
結局君たちは二人でドラゴン討伐の旅に出ることにした。
Not much going in the way of everything, but it does provide an opportunity to look through people.
街の中を歩いていると武器商人を名乗る男が君に話しかけてきた。商人は小声で言った。お前、最強の武器は欲しくないか。商人は人目を気にしながら最強の武器とやらをこっそり君の前に出した。商人曰く、
Yep.
この世に2つとない
Legendary weapon.
伝説の武器で、君が欲しいなら怪しさ満点だが、確かに伝説の武器からは並々ならぬオーラを感じる。
We don't have that kind of money.
君はこんなあからさまに怪しいものに2万ゴールドもの大金を払えるかと断った。商人は欲しくなったらまた来てくれと言い、伝説の武器をしまった。
What about you?
老人は町の外には魔物がいるから危ないと親切に教えてくれた。
What about you?
子供曰く、この城下町を出てすぐ見えるのが次の町だそうだ。
Sugino Machida. Localization puts next town. Original text means the next town. Nexton. Sheesh.
ドラゴン討伐の志願者を募集する看板が立っている。ドラゴンを討伐した者には莫大な賞金を。君はこの看板を見て城へ出向いたのだ。一人の女がまじまじと看板を眺めている。女はこちらに気がつくと、みるみると土器をはらんだ血相に変わった。魔物。女はいきなりメルブールに向けて魔法を放ってきた。メルブールは魔法にびっくりして目を回している。
Mario, right?
君は目を回しているメルブールを丁寧に抱き起こし、女を睨みつけた。君はこいつは魔物じゃないと訴えるが、女は私は魔物が嫌いだの一点張りで話が噛み合わない。両名によるすれ違いの口論が続く。
You know what? I've been in an argument that lasted for an hour, so I guess this isn't a surprise. Let's see what we
口論の
resolved.
末自分の早とちりだけは認めた女だったが、それでも私は謝らないと強情さを見せる。
Yeah.
君はこいつめと思いながらも興味は別の話に移り変わっていた。聞けばこの女はドラゴンに恨みを持っていて自分の手で倒したいと望んでいるそうだ。しかし自分一人の力では到底ドラゴンに太刀打ちできないと考えあぐねていたらしい。君が自分たちの目的も同じだと話すと女は上から目線で私も一緒に行ってあげてもいいと言った。
I mean, I would love to have her, but let's see what happens.
いきなり攻撃してきたことを謝りもしない女を仲間にはできない。君が断ろうとすると私はドラゴンを倒したいだけ、他は何もいらない。女はボソリとつぶやいた。それを聞き逃さなかった君は思わずにやりと笑う。なら賞金の分け前もいらないってことだな。こんな都合のいいやつはそうそういないと君は手のひらを返し女を仲間に迎え入れることにした。女は自分のことをクロエと名乗った。
Oh, come on. The localization puts her as Melanie. The original text puts her as Kuroe, which would have been better appropriate if we named her Chloe.
クロエは自分が魔法使いであること以外魔物を嫌う理由も
Chloe the witch
ドラ
sounds
ゴ
a
ンを
lot
恨
better
む理
than
由も
Melanie.
教えなかった。
Hey, we got a third member of our party. And that is exactly how things work. The maximum of 3 people based on the tutorial that we did at the beginning. We have what I would assume to be our attacker, a tank, and now a magician. And so much we can do with pursuing the dragon. You know, let's go back a little bit. I'm curious.
扉は固く閉ざされている。鍵穴のようなものが見えるが適合する鍵があれば開くかもしれない。
I wonder if there's an inn right here we could rest a bit. But first, let's leave the area. I think we'll only cover about the prologue in this chapter, or at least... Make your way to the next town, south of Advent. Press the menu button to open the menu. There you can perform various actions, such as saving and changing skills or equipment. The cards you encounter on your journey will be added to your collection found in the menu. Admire your cards' illustrations, or replay movies you've unlocked. Not much of a change of music, just ambiance sounds. And there's only so much we can explore, because everything's surrounded by water. And as much as I want to ask around for the dragon, I think it's high time we saved it here. I'm feeling a bit off right now. It's a nice little setup, though. And appropriately, we have a tank in the center, our fighter in the left, and the mage in the right. Dealing with less than ideal stats compared to the Ivory Order, but it's expected. This is our story. Skill-wise, not too bad. Though we do not have the ability to gain more of those energy gems or whatnot to really dish out damage on a frequent basis. Let's see, what have we got? Oh, and it looks like we can put more skills once we further our characters. Let's see, own cards, collections. Let's take a quick look. Setup, abilities, and party. More members, of course. Equipment. Not much we can do. And it looks like, in spite of the fact that we have a hammer, we have claws. And as for you... it's a wonder why... I'm guessing you have two different weapons. One meant for enchanting, the other one's meant for just attacking things. I love the cloth, though. It's a nice design. Let's see. Let's save right here. I'm feeling burned out right now. Now, is there a way to get out of here? As in, well, for one, probably need to... is there options? Please let me get out of here. Let's see if I can't get out. Ah. There we go. Well. This marks the end of that chapter. I will play this game on occasion, but not as often as I would for Stardew Valley. Maybe I'll get through about 2 chapters. But I think it'll all hinge based on, 1, me muting the voice of this thing, and putting my voice as well. And 2, if I can manage to get a stream of about 4 hours in without having to deal with the production nightmare that's currently going on for stream number 1, I think it would work well. Alright, that is it for the stream. Good to see you guys. And hopefully I'll be back tomorrow to play with Stardew Valley again.